Hi, today I'm going to be talking about The Secret History of Wonder Woman by Jill Lepore. And basically, Wonder Woman's origin story is actually the story of these three real women who were Elizabeth Holloway Marston, Olivia Byrne, and Marjorie Wilkes Huntley. So basically, I think that these women represent the big legacies, which were higher education, the birth control movement, and early suffrage organizing. Basically, the author gives us a glimpse of their influence by mentioning how when Simon visited DC Comics in the early 1970s, she claimed that Wonder Woman had actually lost her feminist voice. And this prompted editors to return our heroine to the feminism of her birth from page 286. I think this quote perfectly captures what these women gave to Wonder Woman, which was a feminist foundation. These three women lived the politics that would eventually show up on the page. I think that Holloway was highly educated and career-driven, and she completely refused to play by society's restrictions. And Byrne grew up inside the birth control movement. She was literally raised by Margaret Sanger's family. And then Huntley participated in suffrage-era activism as well as women's equality groups. And together, these ideas of independence, body autonomy, and political power ended up shaping Wonder Woman's values. For these women, suffrage wasn't just history, it was actually personal. And Olivia Byrne's connection to Margaret Sanger tied Wonder Woman directly to the fight over reproductive rights. Lepore captures how this generation saw political control over women's bodies just as dangerous. Holloway actually argued that suppressing women's natural instincts was no worse crime possible, simply photographic obscenity, which was from page 307. This political anger is what fed into Wonder Woman's creation. She wasn't just powerful, she actually represented the women who were claiming ownership over themselves. And Jill Lepore also shows how early feminists believed the differences between men and women were exaggerated by culture instead of nature. Marston wrote that the natural differences are small and the abnormally superimposed differences great, which was from page 310. That's basically an early version of gender as social construct. And this suffrage movement's fight, which was the control of one's body, equal citizenship, and self-determination, ended up becoming the foundation of Wonder Woman's feminism. Let's jump to the 1970s, and Wonder Woman suddenly becomes political again. Gloria Steinem launched his Miss Magazine in 1972, and that puts Wonder Woman on the very first cover. Jill Lepore wrote that Miss was meant to be a woman's magazine, Liberated, page 281. Wonder Woman symbolized the return of feminist ideals, which were confident, powerful, and unapologetic. And Bella Abzug was one of the fiercest voices in Congress. She pushed every day for the Equal Rights Amendment. She famously said, "Who'd be against equal rights for women?" Page 292. But the backlash was extremely brutal. The author notes that by the late 1970s, feminists were under attack by what she called frighteningly vicious anti-intellectual fascism, page 290. And that line completely captures the climate, which was progress followed by huge pushback. And Wonder Woman actually became the symbol activists needed. She connected the suffrage spirit of 1915 with the battles of feminism in the 1970s. By the 70s, Wonder Woman was not only a comic book character, she was also a political tool. And Miss Magazine used her repeatedly as a symbol of empowerment. Jill Lepore describes how the editors believed strongly in her power which stating that the founders of Ms. placed great faith in Wonder Woman's ability to launch the magazine, page 286. And even political groups used her. One flyer from 1974 shows Wonder Woman in the context of Nixon's presidency, page 320, and demonstrating how she was used to comment on presidential politics. Wonder Woman shortly became a shorthand for feminist demands, and she was eventually the visual language of the movement. To wrap everything up, reading this book made me realize that Wonder Woman isn't just fiction. She's also a political legacy, and she ended up reflecting three generations of activism. You have the suffragists, early feminists, and second wave organizers. What stuck with me the most is that Wonder Woman actually survived every backlash women faced. When feminism was mocked or ignored, she became the face of the resistance again. Lepore shows that behind Wonder Woman are the lives of real women who refuse to accept their limits. And now I see her not just as a superhero, but as a symbol of all the women who pushed history forward. Thank you.